Welcome to the dark side, viewers. Brace yourselves as we plunge into a grotesque saga of murder, metal, and mayhem. This isn't just another true crime story, it's a descent into a 1990s nightmare where teenage rebellion, satanic rituals, and death metal converge in the most horrifying way imaginable. I'm Nelly, and you're watching the ultimate true crime channel that dares to tackle the sinister and the taboo. Hit subscribe, smash that like button, and prepare your nerves. Today's tale is not for the squeamish or the easily disturbed. Let's dive into the abyss. Under the veil of Arroyo Grande's coastal charm, a festering darkness loomed, unbeknownst to its tranquil residents. Here, a ghastly plot unfolded, spearheaded by Royce Casey, a teen consumed by twisted fantasies and a craving for infamy. In 1996, this very teen, overcome by a cocktail of guilt and a perverse sense of duty, walked into a local police station to unload his conscience, revealing a crime so vile it seemed the product of a macabre fiction. Accompanied in his depraved journey by Joseph Fiorella and Jacob Delashmutt, Casey wasn't your average troubled youth. These were disciples of the dark, deluded adherents of a satanic creed who believed murder was their passage to glory in the underground world of death metal. They targeted Elise Poller, an innocent entwined tragically in their lives, a girl whose only mistake was crossing paths with these would-be musicians turned murderers. Elise, with her gentle demeanor and zest for life, was blissfully unaware of the grim fate her acquaintances had scripted for her. This narrative begins chillingly on a normal day in Arroyo Grande, a day that promised nothing out of the ordinary yet ended in a spectacle of horror that would scar the town forever. As we peel back the layers of this dreadful story, remember the serenity of a place is often a facade, masking the darkest corners of human nature where vile acts brew in silence. Elise Poller was a beacon of youthful exuberance, her life brimming with potential and a passion for the creative arts. At just 15, she navigated the trials of adolescence with a charm and vivacity that endeared her to all. But beneath the surface of this vivacious teen was a burgeoning spirit of rebellion, a departure from her conservative roots that would tragically steer her toward a sinister fate. As Elise sought escape and new experiences, she turned to substances that promised freedom, but instead shackled her to a dangerous undercurrent within Arroyo Grande. It was in this haze of adolescent defiance that she fell into the orbit of Royce Casey, Joseph Fiorella, and Jacob Delashmutt, three individuals whose morbid fascination with the macabre would soon spell disaster. The trio, masked by a facade of friendship, harbored a chilling agenda rooted in their twisted interpretation of satanic rites and death metal culture. Obsessed with gaining notoriety for their fledgling band, they plotted an act so heinous that it would echo through the annals of true crime. On a night cloaked in the ordinary, July 1995, they executed their gruesome plan. Elise thought she was heading to a casual hangout, a night of youthful indulgence. Instead, she was led to a remote location, the stage set for a nightmare. As the evening air grew thick with foreboding, the group's true intentions unfurled with demonic precision. Under the guise of performing a satanic ritual to elevate their status in the metal underworld, they turned on Elise with a brutality that belied their human form. The attack was merciless and calculated. Elise, overwhelmed by betrayal and fear, faced her final moments in a maelstrom of violence. Her pleas for mercy were met with cold indifference as the ritualistic murder was carried out with barbaric fervor. Her life, so full of promise and joy, was extinguished under a moonlit sky, sacrificed on the altar of twisted ambition and depraved fantasy. As the reality of Elise's fate sank into the earth with her blood, the echo of her dreams faded into a night that would haunt Arroyo Grande forever. As the months trickled by, the case of Elise Poller's disappearance became another cold file in a sleepy town's archive, with whispers of her fate circulating like ghost stories. The community was haunted not just by her absence, but by the unsettling silence that masked the truth of her demise. But beneath this calm, a storm was brewing, a storm ignited by the crumbling conscience of Royce Casey. Transformed by a sudden pivot towards religion, Casey found himself wrestling with the dual forces of his heinous act and his newfound Christian faith. This internal battle culminated in a confession that would rip open the facade of normalcy that had enveloped Arroyo Grande. Walking into the police station, a haunted figure, Casey laid bare the grisly details of that fateful night, casting himself and his accomplices not as mere teenagers lost in rebellion, but as orchestrators of a calculated and monstrous crime. With Casey's confession as their guide, law enforcement pieced together the horrific tableau of Elise's murder. The investigation uncovered a narrative so grotesque it seemed plucked from the darkest corners of human imagination. It revealed how Casey, Fiorella, and Delashmutt had not only premeditated the murder, but had also reveled in its brutality, all under the guise of a satanic ritual that was as much a part of their deluded quest for band notoriety as it was a chilling reflection of their deepest, darkest impulses. This revelation sent shockwaves through the community and law enforcement alike, exposing a chilling lesson on the dangers of extremist ideologies festering within disaffected youth. The case stood as a grim testament to the volatile mix of adolescent recklessness and the potent, dangerous allure of extremist beliefs. As Casey's words echoed through the halls of justice, they painted a portrait of a tragedy that was as much about the loss of innocent life as it was about the pernicious paths unchecked rage and radicalization can forge. The chilling confession was only the beginning of a tumultuous journey through the justice system. With Royce Casey's words reverberating through the community, he, along with Joseph Fiorella and Jacob Delashmutt, were swiftly arrested and brought to trial. As the proceedings unfolded, the depths of their depravity came to light, unveiling not only the macabre details of their crime, but also the twisted motivations behind it. The trial became a spectacle of horror and disbelief as evidence laid bare how these young men, consumed by their dark fantasies, orchestrated a murder under the influence of death metal music. Defense arguments attempted to shift some blame onto the band Slayer, whose lyrics, they claimed, incited the violence. However, the court saw through the facade of external influence, holding Casey, Fiorella, and Delashmutt entirely accountable for their actions. This verdict sent a clear message about personal responsibility and the limits of artistic influence. In the aftermath, the Poller family was left shattered, their lives irrevocably altered by the brutal loss of Elise. The community, too, was shaken, grappling with the understanding that such darkness could emerge among them. This tragic case served as a grim reminder of the potential for extremist beliefs to escalate into real-world violence, leaving a scar on the town of Arroyo Grande that would linger for years to come. As we close this harrowing chapter, our thoughts linger on the potent mix of cultural influence and personal choice. Elise Pollar's tragic death underscores the danger of ideologies pushed to their extremes and the profound impact they can have on young minds. This story is a somber testament to the destructive power of hatred and fanaticism, reminding us of the vigilance needed to guard against the darker corners of human nature. To everyone who has accompanied us on this dark journey, thank you for your attention. This tale, while disturbing, is important for understanding the depths of human complexity and the consequences of our choices. Please reflect on this narrative and join the conversation in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the intersection of culture and personal responsibility? Don't forget to subscribe for more investigations into the chilling realities of true crime. Together, we explore the shadows to better understand the light. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe. And remember, if this video resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay updated on our latest uploads. Your engagement helps us shed light on these dark stories, contributing to a broader understanding and discussion. Thank you for being part of our community.